Al-Andalus, Jews held positions of power. They were treated just like anybody else. Well, it's true. Absolutely true. Samuel ibn Nagrela and his son Joseph did indeed occupy positions of power and influence in Granada, whereupon they were assassinated in 1066 for precisely that reason, because they held power over Muslims, and other Muslims found this offensive and found that the Muslims who had put them into power were transgressing Islamic law, and that the dhimmis who had accepted that power had to be punished. There was an extensive pogrom. 5,000 Jews were killed. The Jewish community of Granada was decimated. And it was because of this tolerant, pluralistic, proto-multiculturalist granting of authority over the Muslims. Abu Ishaq, who was a well-known Islamic jurist of the time and at that place, he wrote this, egging on the attackers. Put them back, the Jews, where they belong. Put them back where they belong, and reduce them to the lowest of the low. Turn your eyes to the other Muslim countries, and you will find the Jews there are outcast dogs. So in other words, what are we doing giving them power here? Do not consider it a breach of faith to kill them. They have violated our covenant with them. They have violated, in other words, they violated the dhimma, and a Jew or Christian who violates the terms of the contract of protection, his life is forfeit. They have violated our covenant with them, so how can you be held guilty against the violators? The Almohads later persecuted the Jewish and Christian populations in Spain for precisely the same reason. They were deemed to have violated the terms of the contract, and thus their lives were forfeit. They were never, in other words, equal citizens with the Muslims. They never enjoyed equality of rights in the society with the Muslims. The rights they did enjoy, the position they did enjoy, was only at the sufferance of the Muslim rulers and could be revoked by them, and was, at any time. So Al-Andalus is indeed a model. Al-Andalus is a model of what the Islamic jihadists and their allies see for Europe in the 21st century. That is absolutely the model that they want to implement, and they will implement if they get the chance. And it is not a model of multiculturalist harmony. It is a model of subjugation and the denial of core Western Judeo-Christian principles of the equality of dignity of all people before the law, and the equality of rights of all people before the law, and the freedom of speech. These things would absolutely be completely destroyed. So, as a tactic, it is a very effective, extraordinarily effective tactic to portray Muslim Spain, and also, for that matter, the Ottoman Empire, as models of tolerance and multiculturalism at a time when Europe is overwhelmed with an immigrant wave that is unlike any other immigrant wave in human history at any time or place. Because the immigrants who are coming into Europe from Muslim countries today have a ready-made model of society and governance, a ready-made system of laws that they bring with them, and that they believe to be superior to the model of society and governance and the system of laws of the places to which they are coming. Never before has this happened. And it's happened at precisely the time when the European and American elites have decided that all cultures are essentially equal in value, interchangeable, and really it's a matter of indifference as to which one may be dominant in any particular time and place, and that it is only racism and bigotry that would motivate anyone to resist any immigrant wave. Obviously, this has nothing to do with race at all. There are plenty of people who are exactly the same race as those of the Muslim immigrants. The Hindu immigrants from India have no trouble, have never caused any of the kinds of troubles we've seen from Muslim immigrants, have no trouble assimilating into European societies. The idea of the Islamic jihad or Islamic supremacism as a race is also controverted by the fact of Western converts. In the United States, one of the foremost spokesmen for the Islamic advocacy group, the Council on American Islamic Relations, is a gentleman named Ibrahim Hooper, Douglas Hooper, who is actually, I believe he's of Norwegian descent, and he's from Minnesota. And he converted to Islam in the 90s, and is now a very prominent, blonde-haired, blue-eyed spokesman for Islam, and for an Islamic supremacist group that has demonstrable ties to Hamas. So, is Hooper somehow not a threat to Judeo-Christian civilization or Western civilization because he's a white man? It's a ridiculous idea, really. But it's here again a manipulation of the foundations of the debate so as to divert us into issues that are irrelevant and distract us from the main problem. And this is the goal primarily of this historical revisionism as well. There's really nothing to worry about. Anybody who worries about it, it's your problem, because you just are hateful or racist. And thus, you need to look to yourselves to deal with this. Because even if they do prevail, everything will be okay, just like it was in Spain. And you must be a descendant of those crusaders who gratuitously invaded and conquered so much of the Islamic world so long ago. And that's just the opposite of the kind of spirit we need in this new multiculturalist age. Now, that's the dominant view, is it not? I wish that I could offer you some easy way to dispel that, but this is the fog through which we all must blunder and lurch and make our way through. The only thing I think that we can do is to continue to tell the truth. To tell the truth about these historical issues, to tell the truth about the present situation, and to trust that the truth will prevail, and thereby, in a healthy awareness that we have a culture that's worth defending, and a civilization that's worth defending, while not whitewashing any of the sins of our ancestors, demonstrating that fact in itself, that we actually do have something worth preserving, and that if we do not preserve it, the darkness that will descend upon Europe and upon America as a result of its descent upon Europe will be far darker and far more horrible than most anyone has envisioned. Thank you very much.